Assalamualaikum, we are from 6th group, and in this video we would like to share about two models of communications. They are TOPS model and Gudykunts Kim Model. Let's check it out! Alright, let's start with TOPS model. Developed by Stewart L. TOPS, this model describes the most basic form of communication, which is communication between two persons. This model actually matches the concept of communication as a transaction, which assumes that two communicators are both as a sender of the message and also as a receiver. So how could it be like that? Here we go. When we talk, or let's say when we send a message, in the same time, we actually also observe our partner's behavior and we react to that. So when we are sending a message, in the same time we are receiving the message. We are receiving the facial expression of our partner. We are receiving the response or the reaction of our partner. So that's why it's stated that the communicators are both as a sender of message and also a receiver in the same time. And this process is reciprocal. So in order to have a better and clearer understanding about TOPS model of communication, so here we go with the picture or the cycle to know how does actually the communication occur according to the model of TOPS. So here we have two communicators. There are first communicator and second communicator. And as we see here that these both communicators are being sender and receiver of messages in the same time. And then they get inputs all the times from inside of oneself or outside, from things that have been past or things that are still happening or any other experiences related to social stuffs. So after this inputs, before being a message, these inputs will be filtered. And the filter comes from socio-cultural background, which is absolutely different between one another. This difference makes each of individual have different filters, physiologically and psychologically. And then after being filtered, this will be a message. And then this message can be a verbal or non-verbal message. It can be intentional or incidental message. And then this message will be going through the channel. And the channel which is meant here are the sensories, exactly the hearing, sight, and touch senses. And after going through the sensories or channel, the message should pass the interferences before going to the receiver. And this interference or this disturbance is grouped into two kinds. The first one is technical interference and the second one is semantic interference. So what is called by technical interference? We can see through this video. The technical interference is any factors that cause the receiver of message feel any change of information or any message that is received. As we see here in the video that the person cannot hear the person that is speaking in the call. So it will cause receiver of message receive the message in another way. So it's called technical interference. Here we can see that this woman has disability of speech, and this kind of disability is one of technical interference form.
I'm a human being. If you don't want to help, at least say so.
Hello, I am deaf. I may have trouble comprehending you. Thank you for your consideration. Usually, I'd read your lips to understand you.
Oh.
If you like, you could let this convert your speech to text for me.
Okay.
the second kind of interference is semantic interference. It's a different understanding to the symbol that is told by the message sender. So for example, we can see this video.
Wes nang dibuka Iya teh kopi nu aya di TV. Sing ono di TV. Tapi iku cuma kopi. Iya teh kopi. Gak nganggo teh. Iku cuma kopi. Kopi luwak. Iya teh kopi luwak kan. Iya iku kopi luwak. Tapi gak nganggo teh. Enya, iya teh kopi luwak. Koe luwak.
So from this video we know that since they are speaking with different language, so they were misunderstanding each other. So it is what meant by semantic interference. And then the cycle or the sequence keep running and keep going like that. And as we see here that there are so many circles behind the first circle in front. So it means that the process of communication is actually a never-ending process. And we cannot definitely know who is actually starting the process of communication. And just to strengthen our previous point that even though in the model or in this sequence or in this picture, both communicators, the first communicator and the second communicators, they have the same aspects, which are input, message, channel, and interference. It doesn't mean that they have the same things, the same stuffs. Of course, they have both different stuffs in each aspect. So different messages with different interference, different input, and many others.
Okay everyone, now I would like to explain to you about Gudykunst and Kim model of communication. The model of William B. Gudykunts and Young-in Kim is basically a model of intercultural communication. It means the communication among people with different cultures or communication between strangers. The most distinctive characteristic of this model is the encoding and decoding. In its process of communication, there is an interactive sequence which is influenced by conceptual filters. They are: first, socio-cultural factor. Socio-cultural factor means some factors relate to the process of social arrangement. Social arrangement is developed into interaction with others. Next, cultural factors. This factor in Gudykunts and Kim's model includes factors that expand cultural similarities and differences, such as religion, language, and our attitude towards humans. For example, the way we care on others.
Environmental influence. The environment influences us to encode the message and decode them. Geographic location. Climate, architectural condition, or physical environment, and our perception of that environment influence the way we interpret the effects of the coming culture and the prediction or expression we make about the behavior of others. Second, advantage of the Gudykunst model. The certain interaction that will expand our knowledge about other cultures. If communication goes well, then there will be a feeling of knowing, understanding each other, and also understanding that each of us absolutely bring our own culture. 3. Disadvantage of the Gudykunst and Kim's model. If there is no tolerance that comes as an awareness that each person brings a different culture, then there could be misunderstanding which might lead us to a bigger problem.
Maybe we think enough. Thank you for your attention. Sorry for our mistake. See you next time. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.